Yeah, you should definitely not stop doing it. And I love the name, by the way, Breakfast Bars. That's dope. I love that.
Thank you.
Yes. Now your singles are doing major things. So, like your single "Hometown," I love the video. Check that out. That was produced by Kwame. It's over 150,000 streams, and also currently in rotation on BET. And oh my God, that collaboration that y'all did together. You like basically convinced him to get out from behind the boards and back in front of the mic. Called the return. Oh, that was super dope.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, look, Kwame is an amazing artist, all around. And, I've been working with him pretty much, since I started. I've known him since I'm like 14 years old. He's raised me as an artist, and, he's really the first guy that like really believed in me. And I owe him a lot for that. And, I think when he transitioned from being a rapper to, being more in the background and doing production, and you know the resume. I mean, he's done work with everybody. He gets a lot of joy out of, being in the background and directing artists and giving other artists great records. But the thing that people don't know, and the thing that I see because I'm behind the scenes, is, his skills have never fallen off. He doesn't sound like some old school rapper trying to come back or trying to recreate something from a bygone era. Like, he is still just as sharp today as he was 30 years ago. So, I hear records that he makes, and I guess, maybe he intends to put out, maybe he doesn't want to put out. But, every time I put out a project, I always try to get him on it, rapping, because, I see how his fans react when he gives them a little taste. Like, he's done a couple freestyle videos over the past year, and his following just goes absolutely crazy when he drops it. And I really wanna, let people know that he still got it. And that was important for me to have him on this album, have him on the project rapping again, because, I want to remind people, and I think, it's important for, older hip hop fans that are fans of, the 80s, 90s era that don't identify with what's going on right now. I think it's important for them to see older artists that they grew up with still putting out music, whether it's Kwame, whether it's, LL Cool J, EPMD, whoever. I think there's still a demand for that, because there's just a demographic in hip hop that's being completely underserviced. I think these guys will go on tour, they'll do shows here and there, but I think the fans want to hear new music, and that's a conversation that me and Kwame have often. And we're always talking about, artists that we think can still make dope records. And the funny thing is, and I told him this the other day, it's like, we always talk about artists that we want to see make a comeback, but, it should be you. I tell him it should be you, because you have all the skills to make a great album and make the album that we want to hear. So The Return is a single that I put out with Kwame. It's out now. The video's out. It's on all streaming platforms, wherever you get your music. But that's a little taste of what's to come. There's definitely a project in the works where Kwame is going to be rapping again. And if I have to, if I have to die to make him put it out, that's what's going to happen, because I really believe in him as an artist. I think he could make a great album again, and I think the fans want to hear it.
Definitely. Well, when he does that, or any other time, we'd love to have him on the Boom Bap Hour as well. That would be dope.
For sure.
Yes. And also your single Walter White, produced by Static Selector, has over 130,000 streams, also on Shade 45. Now tell us the story behind this song.
Well, Static Selector, look, he's just one of those new guys that I think is carrying the torch. He's from that, DJ Premier school of thought, where he's a new producer, but he's still doing those raw hip hop beats, sample heavy, he's not following, the trends of what's popular right now, and he only works with artists that he respects. He only really works with real lyricists. So for me to be able to link up with him and get a cosign was huge, because I'm such a fan of him. I'm such a fan of the artists that he works with, and it was such a dope experience, just being able to get in the studio with him and go back and forth on ideas, see him do the cuts live, go back and forth about ideas for the song. And it was just an incredible experience. I mean, that's somebody that I wanted to work with for a long time. And I'm just so happy that it was able to come into fruition in the way that it did. And, he's given me, a lot of looks, as an up and coming artist. He didn't have to work with me. You know what I mean? He works with everybody. So for him to come and say, look, I like what you do, I'm down to do a record, that was everything to me. And, he's been extremely supportive. He's had me on his show to rhyme. He plays my records. And it was just, it was a huge look for me. It was one of the first, major producers outside of Kwame that I really had the chance to work with. And it was just incredible, man. He's an incredible artist. He works with incredible artists, and he actually just put out a new instrumental album, which is crazy if people are interested in that. It's one of those guys that, again, is still staying true to that East Coast hip hop sound. So it was great to work with him.
Great. And, it also, just seems like you're changing the tide towards the roots of hip hop. Even Jay Electronica, say you are bearer of witness the times are changing, and that you definitely have bars. So got to give you all the mad respect for everything that you're doing out there.
Hey, man, it means so much. Thank you so much.
Yes. So we got to let everybody know how can we find your music?
Well, I'm out on all streaming platforms. Search Bobby J from Rockaway, you'll find it. YouTube.com/Bobby J. I try to put out a new video every week, so if you subscribe, you'll get all the new content immediately. Obviously, Instagram is a jump-off point for me. I'm at Bobby J from Rockaway. Also, Twitter at Bobby J Rockaway. So it's pretty much uniform across all platforms. Wherever you download, stream your music, you can find me.
Okay, awesome. Well, we definitely enjoy having you on the Boom Bap Hour, Bobby J, and thank you so much for being our guest. Your music is boom bap and hip-hop at its finest. So thank you again for joining us, and don't go anywhere, y'all. It's the Boom Bap Hour, y'all.
Thank you.